The Sixers played the New Zealand Breakers last night, and although it was just an exhibition game, there are some things to talk about. We will talk about what Tyrese Maxey did at about 50% effort, which is damn impressive. Andre Drummond dominated the glass and did something that shocked everyone. A Sixers rookie got even closer to actual rotational minutes because his three-point shot is looking buttery smooth. Tyrese Maxey praised him after the game, and Sixers players praised Gershen Yaselli after his debut. All that and more coming up on Run It Back Philly Sixers preseason edition. Back Nation, what is good? Sixers season is here. The sickos are back out in full force. Philadelphia 76ers basketball season is upon us. Oh my goodness, it's almost here. Before we talk about everything I want to talk about from last night and beyond, give us 1,000 likes on this video. Be one of the people that hits that little like button that gets us up over 1,000. That would be greatly appreciated. We are approaching 25,000 subscribers. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Get the Sickos merch on runitbackphillyshop.com. And this is brought to you by BetUS. We're over on BetUS website today. Phillies versus Mets, Game 3. Oh, I'm hype. The Phillies are favored on the money line over on BetUS in New York for Game 3. I'm not going to bet on it because that's bad luck. But you can bet on it. You can get 150% deposit bonus on your first deposit and 125% deposit bonus on your next two, up to $2,000 over on BetUS using promo code YouTube150. Thank you to BetUS for sponsoring the channel. Let's get down to business. Listen, the first thing I want to say is the Sixers versus the New Zealand Breakers. Can we please never do this again? I don't know who this is benefiting. I don't understand why it's happening, but a team from New Zealand doing an NBA tour, coming over here to get absolutely smoked in an exhibition game. I don't understand how that helps anybody. I had trouble finishing the second half of the game because it was just the most boring, pointless thing I probably have ever watched. And like, I'm excited to watch Sixers preseason against other NBA teams because at least then I can look at the deep end of the bench, right? The Ricky Council minutes, the Jared McCain minutes, and things like that, and assess them because they're still playing NBA level players and they're still playing second and third unit players who they're probably going to be playing against when they get minutes in the NBA. But when they're playing against the New Zealand Breakers and they're up by 30 points in the first quarter, what can we really assess from that? You know what I mean? And if, listen, it reminded me of the Noah Lyles clip where he said, world champions. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the United States sometimes, but that ain't the world. They're not world champions. If you didn't believe that all of the best players in the world are in the NBA, and then you watch the Sixers versus the New Zealand Breakers, in where they went out and basically jogged around and blew this team out, a team who would have loved nothing more than to upset an NBA team. So one team was trying really hard. One team was basically joking, and they got smacked. Can we just never do that again, please? Here's my takes from the game. First of all, shout out to my guy Sixers Geo on Twitter. The Sixers are now undefeated in the post-Tobias Harris era. We are 1-0 in the post-Tobias Harris era. Let's keep it going. My takeaways from the game. Tyrese Maxey going at about half speed. I don't want to play that because I'm going to get copyright. Tyrese Maxey going at about half speed in this game. Dropped 15 points in the first quarter. And some of the shots were ridiculous, but it looked like he was just like shooting warm-up shots. They weren't wide open either. These were step backs with a hand in his face. One from the corner, step back, fade away with a hand in his face. Splash, 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 splash. Tyrese Maxey is going to go off this season. It's what's going to happen because I know it was the New Zealand Breakers, but what I'm saying is the shots that he was making while looking like he was just kind of joking around and having a good time, when he actually tries against NBA players this year, and like I said, if he picks up exactly where he left off in that New York series where he averaged 30 points per game against the best defense in the NBA, Tyrese Maxey is going to cook this season. And with Joel Embiid's load management, and Joel and Paul George didn't play in this game, so Paul George might be part of that load management also, you might see 40 or 50 games where Tyrese Maxey is the lead guy. And so my prediction of he could possibly average 30 points per game isn't that crazy. It's not that crazy when you think about it. There's my take on Tyrese Maxey in the game last night. Andre Drummond last night hit a three-pointer from the corner, ladies and gentlemen. And first of all, Andre Drummond was absolutely dominating the glass against these guys. And of course, nobody on the New Zealand Breakers really has a shot at getting a rebound over a guy who's self-proclaimed himself the best rebounder of all time, and his per 36 rebounds is 18, 5 more than anybody else in the NBA. Every single possession in this game, Andre Drummond had his hands on the rebounds. A couple of offensive rebounds off of free throws. I mean, it wasn't fair at all. I was a little bit shocked at how much Andre Drummond played in the game, and the fact that you didn't see a Dembona until the second half. But Andre Drummond was absolutely everywhere fighting for rebounds like it was an NBA Finals game. It's the way that he plays the game. And then he hits a three from the corner. Andre Drummond hit a three-pointer from the corner. And for you guys that remember Andre Drummond shooting free throws pretty much the first 5 or 6 years of his career, he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. That guy became a three-point shooter in the NBA before Ben Simmons. Wow. Wow, Ben Simmons. Wow. I mean, it just keeps getting more and more embarrassing for you. And those of you that say, Ben Simmons isn't even on our team anymore, you need to stop talking about him. I will slander him for the rest of my days on this earth for what he put me through. And just know that. All right. What do we want to talk about next? Jared McCain had 15 points in the game against the Breakers, and I was saying when the game started, this would be a game where you would expect Jared McCain, if he's going to get NBA minutes, to kind of go off a little bit because this is not NBA competition. I mean, I don't even know if this is like United States high school competition. And so Jared McCain, he had some good points, had some sloppiness at some points also. But the one thing I will say about Jared McCain is that three-point shot looks buttery smooth. And he has a no-dip release. He has a catch-and-shoot release that's very, very quick. He can get that shot off with not a lot of space at all, with the time running down in his shot clock and things like that. It's really like the way he catches it and shoots it without bringing the ball down is like Klay Thompson-esque. Or Nicholas Batum even. I used to say that about him. So shout out to Jared McCain for that. He's definitely looking like a player that doesn't need any development when it comes to his three-point shot. It's just good, right off rip. And so that's a good thing, and that can be valuable for the Sixers if he keeps it up and he starts to look confident on the floor. Maybe Jared McCain becomes a rotational player as a rookie. But there's my take on Jared McCain for the game. I really only have two other things that I want to say here. Here's Tyrese Maxey talking about Jared McCain after the game.
Just thoughts on the young fella tonight. We saw from Jared.
Yeah, he was good. Made shots. We talked a little bit about just impacting the body defensively. It's crazy me saying that, but yeah, he was good, man. He was aggressive, wasn't nervous, wasn't scared. Played great.
What I take from that is Tyrese Maxey giving Jared McCain defensive pointers. So, that just tells me that Tyrese Maxey has been working and focusing on defense this entire offseason, and his defense on ball on the perimeter should be better than it has been, at least to where teams can't target him. And then him giving Jared McCain pointers. And Jared McCain was a pretty good defender at Duke from what the college basketball aficionados tell me. So if Jared McCain and Tyrese Maxey can both be like average on-ball defenders, and he's a threat to shoot, it can only go up from there. You know what I mean? So shout out to Tyrese Maxey for that. Gershen Yaselli in his debut to his NBA return had 15 points, didn't miss a shot from the field. A lot of them were dump downs into the paint where a player was just so much smaller than him. Again, the guy is 6'8", 275. He's a giant. And you saw him on the court. He's so much bigger than everybody that was out there. And Nick Nurse said you might see some backup 5 minutes for Gershen Yaselli, and I think you're going to see some backup 5 minutes from Gershen Yaselli this upcoming season. I think, again, it's against the New Zealand Breakers, but this is a guy that just played in the Euro League for 3 or 4 years. So he went out there and he dominated a team that he had played against probably several times in the Euro League, or is that the NBL, the Australian Basketball League? I'm not even sure. But anyway, good showing from Gershen Yaselli in his debut. And here's what Sixers players and Nick Nurse had to say about Gershen Yaselli after his debut. Andre Drummond said, "That boy's strong, man. He's strong." I mean, we always joke around in practice about who's going to get more rebounds in the game because, like, in practice, we go at it. We're always on the same team, though, so, like, he'll try to go get it, and I'll take it out of his hands, and vice versa. Again, I really didn't have an assessment of Gershen Yaselli's rebounding in the Euro League, so Andre Drummond is saying that they compete for rebounds, and the Sixers have had a mega rebounding issue, for a couple of seasons now. And we know Drummond is the rebounder that he is. If Yaselli's even half the rebounder that Andre Drummond is, then we have two very good options to help us, not get completely destroyed in the rebound department in the playoffs where it really killed us against the Knicks. But so that was something that stood out to me that he said about Gershen. Drummond said having a guy like him who is seasoned, who's been in the NBA before, who's come back and kind of revamped his career and now is here. We need a guy like that. Very happy to have him here. Gershen is big, strong, physical, has perimeter skills, and a chip on his shoulder. It's a perfect combination, and I can't believe other teams didn't jump on it before the Sixers did. Daryl Morey claims he was trying to get him, for months. So happy that he's here. I thought he got himself into some really good places tonight. Nick Nurse said when they switched, he took him right in there. He's pretty used to that. That's kind of the style they used him at with France and overseas when they switched a smaller guy. He's pretty wide to get around as well, so he can go down in the post and score. So yeah, every time they kind of had a switch onto Yaselli, he took the smaller guy right under the rim and had his way with him. Nurse said he made a couple good moves. Face up, got in front of the rim, shot that's hitting the glass, rebounding, can take care of the defensive rebounding. Can he pick and pop every once in a while? All those kinds of things. He did all those things tonight, so it was a good first outing for him. Gershen Yaselli continues to impress. And the last thing I want to say is Ricky Council. Ricky Council came out here and gave 110% effort, and he just attacks the rim with so much physicality and so much fire. He finished through contact against a couple of no names and punched himself in the chest and screamed at the crowd and ran over to the bench at Joel Embiid and was yelling in his face like, this is a dude that's going to give you 110% every single time he steps on the floor. And I'll never forgive Nick Nurse for not at least trying to play him in that Knicks series, but it was the Tobias Harris politics with the contract and the relationships, and you didn't want to embarrass the guy by benching him for a rook, whatever it was. He should have been out there against the New York Knicks. And so even in, just in this game, Ricky Council's going out there and he has a point to prove this season. And I can't wait to see him get the opportunity to prove that point against NBA talent, but he went out there against the New Zealand Breakers and he just goes to the rim so hard. He's big and strong. He's going to put his chest in the defender. He keeps a center of gravity. He stays square. He's good at finishing through contact. And his three-point shot has come along. He had a good three-point shot in the summer league. He had a step-back three in this game. So Ricky Council impressed me also, and I'm very excited to continue to watch him develop and get playing time under Nick Nurse. That's all I got. Sixers are 1-0. They destroy the New Zealand Breakers by about 60 points. Don't understand why this game happened, but it did. And now we move on to the actual first preseason game on October 11th, Friday. And we will live stream that. I will see you there. Thanks for tuning in. You guys have a wonderful day. Sicko Nation, I'm out.